Welcome to Sandy Pond Schoolhouse. Entering Ayer's Little Red Schoolhouse today is like stepping into a time warp. The teacher's desk at the front of the room, slate blackboards, rows of wooden student desks, tongue-and-groove birch flooring, kerosene lamps, plaster walls and ceiling, and the wood stove at the back of the room evoke memories of an earlier era. Although long identified with Ayer, Sandy Pond Schoolhouse was originally built by the town of Groton. Constructed in late 1868 as the new schoolhouse for District 11, it served the area known as Groton Junction, a burgeoning railroad hub. Only 2 years later it became part of the Ayer school system when Groton Junction separated from Groton, creating the new town of Ayer. Known ever since as Sandy Pond Schoolhouse, it is today one of only 2 surviving single-room schoolhouses in the former Groton Township. There have been many other changes since Sandy Pond Schoolhouse was built over 150 years ago. In 1869, our newly elected president was Ulysses S. Grant. The Civil War, concluded only 4 years earlier, was recent news. There were no automobiles, no electricity, and railroads were by far the fastest means of transportation. Prices were different too. Consider, for example, the cost of building schools then and now. The Sandy Pond Schoolhouse was built in 1869 for only $1,281. Compare that to the new Ayer Shirley Regional High School completed in 2015 at a cost of almost $56 million. The dollars are much different, but then, as now, it could be a challenge to obtain taxpayer support for building schools, even desperately needed ones. In the case of the District 11 school, it took the Groton School Committee 4 tries. The first unsuccessful attempt came in 1865, immediately after the close of the Civil War. 2 additional unsuccessful tries later, the school committee was on the verge of despair. Its annual report for 1867 noted that several of the schoolhouses, including District 11, are totally unfit for the purposes which they are set apart, and not one comes up to the idea of a modern schoolhouse. An imperative duty rests upon the town, either to give new schoolhouses to the districts or to remodel and modernize the old ones. It must therefore have come as a great relief to the school committee when in 1868 the selectmen finally acted. After a short summer term that year, the old school was removed. By December 1868, the new school was completed and furnished throughout with furniture of the most approved pattern. And thus was born the new schoolhouse, which opened its doors for students in early 1869.